Hi everyone. Well, today I'm going to review a Total Wine Spirits Direct wheated bourbon that until just recently I had never heard of, but which I am hearing a ton of good things about. And I can't wait to see if it's true and just how good this is. I'm going to review Old Emmer Cask Strength 116.6 proof. So the deal is this. My good friend Bourbon Barry did a couple of videos on this one, and he's the one who initially told me about this. I had never heard this or never seen this before. And in one of the videos, he did a blind taste test, and he put this against two very well-known wheated bourbons, the Weller Antique 107 and a Weller Full Proof store pick nonetheless. And in that blind test, this bottle beat them out. And this is a $45 bottle. I saw it. Bourbon Barry recommended it. He kept telling me about it and a whole bunch of us about it, other friends on TikTok. And he kept saying, you got to go there. So I was in Total Wine. I was going to Total Wine. I'm like, there's so many of these there. Total Wine in North Jersey near where I work. And I picked this up at $45. I think normally it's $49, but it looks like they have a special. So again, it's a Spirits Direct. And that's basically where Total Wine has certain deals where they buy from the distilleries directly. They get a special deal. This is one of them because you're not going to see this anywhere else. And I've never certainly heard of this or seen it. So when I saw that, I'm like, I was really curious, and he was like, "This, you got to try this." And now since then, I've heard other people say the same thing, and I'm seeing this popping up on some people's videos. So I got this, and I'm really curious to try it. So basically, again, it's a Total Wine Spirits Direct. It just says on this, distilled in Kentucky, bottled by Kentucky Whiskey Bottling. It's described. I cannot find the mash bill. It is a wheated bourbon, just like the Wellers are, just like Maker's Mark is. And it just is described as a high wheat mash bill. So, you know, obviously we're thinking it's, if it's a wheated bourbon, a high wheat mash bill to me probably means in excess of 20% at least. The term Old Emmer is actually an ancient wheat strain. This is actually kind of also known as Old Emmy. It just says it on the back there. But basically Old Emmer is an ancient wheat strain with distinctive taste and aroma. I think this is aged a minimum of 4 years. And basically that's the deal with this. Now, before I open this up, so basically from Bourbon Barry's end, he put it against those two. He also told me, and this is where this gets really personal. I'm joking, but he said this could also take out the Maker's Mark Cask Strength. Now, you know that's one of my top favorites, and if you've watched my past videos, you know, and this will be done in a separate video, that this bottle here took out on I did blind taste with this one, and this eliminated, and not by a lot, these were all great, but this one edged out the Holiday Rickhouse Proof soft red wheat, and also the Larceny Barrel Proof A124. So this one beat those guys out. What we're going to do is I'm just going to do this video with just reviewing this, tasting this, and then in the next video, I'm going to put these two together, because I want to see how these two match up. Unfortunately, I don't currently have any Weller on hand. I had some handshakes because in the state of New Jersey, if you can find Weller Antique 107 or the Full Proof, you're going to be spending north of $200. So for now, I've had handshakes of it, but I have this one, which is a lot more reasonable and very similarly priced, actually. We'll do that in the next video. But right now, let's crack this open, and we're going to see just how good this is. Okay, we got this all poured up. That was a disappointing cork pop. I don't know if that was the only thing. I'm not going to hold it against it, but that came out kind of silently. But before I even get started, it's kind of funny. This bottle, having been, I wouldn't say a former wine drinker because I do drink wine, but I was really into wine before I even got into bourbon. This very much has the shape of like a Pinot Noir wine bottle. It also has the shape of I believe, a Pappy Van Winkle bottle. So let's not get ahead of ourselves, but that's a wheated bourbon too. But in any event, let's just stay grounded here. Give this a nose. That's very pleasant. That's very, very pleasant. Like definite vanilla, caramel, honey. There's just a general sweetness. It's very pleasant. It's not ethanol like. This is 116.6 proof, but it's very nice on the nose, and you can tell that's kind of a wheated bourbon, definitely. I'm not sure if there's like cinnamon, I think of that like in a Maker's Mark and some other wheated bourbons. Okay, Let's give this a taste. Cheers. Wow, this is actually very good. Well, that's a very nice finish. It's a very smooth, nice, I'm talking finish, very nice on the palate. Same, you know, again, I used to use the term classic bourbon notes, but there you get the vanilla caramel. There's definitely honey on this. There's a lot of wheated bourbons that I use the term cinnamon. I've used cinnamon bomb before. I taste that here. Now, I'm not getting necessarily, and I'd be curious when I put this against the Maker's Mark, because when I put the Maker's Mark cask strength against the Holiday soft red wheat rickhouse proof, specifically those two, they tasted so similar to me. Very similar profile, whereas the Larceny Barrel Proof is wheated. Isn't the same thing. I'm not saying this is exactly like the Maker's. It's a little different to me than that. I'm not saying better or worse, just a little different. Whereas those two are very close together. But this this is going to be very interesting to put together. I can't say yet. No, I can't. Again, I don't have the Weller's head-to-head right now. Having had the Weller 107 and the Weller Foolproof, it wasn't. I believe Foolproof was a store pick. Of those two, I like the Weller 107 Antique better. Of that entire batch, I love the of everything I tried of that whole sample of those wheateds. I liked the Weller 107, and this is obviously a several proof points higher. But I can see, just in my you know, remembering what it tastes like, why Bourbon Barry and others may say that it could be in that category, because they do. There are some similar type notes that I'm tasting from my memory of that. But I want to see, because I happen to have this, and this is obviously a top wheated bourbon favorite of mine. Much closer, not much closer, but definitely closer in proof. This is 112.1 proof. That's 116.6 proof. That might be very interesting to compare. So I think the next video, we're going to put those two together. So I can't say, you know, not doing a blind with it, I can't say if it's better than the Weller 107 I had. But I can tell you this, I can see why this one is put in the same discussion with them. And I could certainly see having this in the same discussion with this Maker's, because having just done a lot of wheated, you know, blinds, I can certainly see this being in that discussion as well. This Maker's, the Holiday red wheat rickhouse proof, and the Larceny. This is very good. And the thing is, it's you know, in terms of price, I mean, I also had it from Sealbacks. I got the Holiday, so it was cheaper than that, cheaper than the Larceny, about the same price as this, and obviously well lower than as far in price than the Wellers, and a lot more available, I assume, from Total Wine, because there was a lot of these there. So stay tuned for the next review. I'm going to put this in a blind against this Maker's Mark cask strength. So this is the defending champion of my wheated reviews, than the ones I compared it to. I want to see how that does. But take one more sip. Well, Bourbon Barry, this is definitely a winner that no doubt about. I can see why we're even discussing them in the same conversation. I'll do my own blind here, because that's the one I have, but this is definitely a good buy and very, very enjoyable. So thanks for the tip, and stay tuned for the next review. We're going to do it against the Maker's Mark cask strength. Take care. Thanks for watching.